Hello guys, this is RJ from Game News USA here, back today with another video. Today I want to have a conversation piece about game difficulty. With the recent release of Elden Ring's DLC, it has caused many people to rethink what they think is too difficult in gaming, and where that line is, where that balance is between challenging and boring, between fun or too easy. And today we're going to talk about it and see if we can figure out some answers. But first, thank you for being here, and if you're new, please consider hitting the subscribe button. And for those of you that have just recently subscribed, I would like to tell you what we do here. So we got 4 pillars to this channel. We do retrospectives on people that are in or around gaming. They could be YouTubers or actual developers. And we do retrospectives on them. We do top 10 lists, like top 10 games of this console or that console, and stuff like that, for example. We also cover the gaming news and conversation pieces like this, showcases and whatnot. And as far as the last pillar goes, we do game reviews, and we also look at Metacritic scores of recent released games. So that's what we do here, and if that sounds like something you enjoy, please like the video and share it out and subscribe. Thank you. Enough plugging, let's get into this. So, game difficulty. I believe that you could put the same game in front of 2 different people, and you could have 2 different ideas of what they believe is too hard or too easy. However, we've seen cases recently, such as with Elden Ring's DLC, that people are really frustrated with how hard the game is. Now, the DLC itself has a 95 on Metacritic, which is actually the highest thing that's been reviewed of anything this year. However, there's a disconnect between that and what the actual players are feeling, where they feel like they can't progress. They feel like they're hitting a wall. Well, guys, I got news for you. That's how I felt with the base game, Elden Ring. I don't have time to be dying hundreds and hundreds of times and retrying. Others will tell me just get good at the game. I, however, am a proponent of an easy mode. I believe games should have easy modes, normal modes, and hard modes at the very least, if you can. Certain games will not have different modes. A Mario 2D platformer might not. But if it's a game that involves managing your health, I believe there's nothing wrong with having an easy mode, a normal mode, and a hard mode. It doesn't cheapen the experience. If you want the hard mode, you can still play the hard mode and enjoy it and not worry what other people are doing. With that being said, though, Elden Ring is also a game that you know the developers behind it produce very difficult games. So if you're buying that game and thinking you're going to breeze through it, you got another thing coming. That being said, 10 million plus people bought the game. So it's okay the developer stuck with their vision. But how do we get the right balance here between challenge and fun and accessibility? And therein lies the problem. There is no one answer. And I'm not meaning to fence ride here. Just the truth of the matter is, it's different strokes for different folks. The gaming community is going to complain whether something is too easy, too hard. There's always going to be complaints. So at the end of the day, what are these companies looking at? How did the game sell? If the game sold poorly and the common complaint was, oh, it's too hard, that would be considered as an adjustment later. However, if a game sold great and there was a vocal minority that complained, the publishers are not going to care. Now, there's been a lot of talk of introducing AI into the game development scene, and a lot of talk of doing dynamic difficulty that will scale directly to you, the player, based on how you're playing. And we've seen that in some video games. Generally, it can work. But I also like the idea of having a game that is piss hard, if you want it to be, with a hard difficulty. But I also like a game where you can make it piss easy and be like an invincible god, which is how I usually play video games, not gonna lie. I always pick the easiest mode, not even gonna lie. That's not to say I can't do things that are challenging. I've done things like beaten intense boss battles in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. I've also done really time-consuming things like getting all the trophies in that game. Or in Smash Ultimate, getting all the stickers, or souls, or whatever they call them. So, it isn't as though I'm running away from a challenge. I do think that in some way, the fear of going back to World 1, for example, on Mario Bros, is a challenge. I'm very interested in buying NES World Championship Edition in July, and that's just a game of nothing but challenges. And I will be glad that it will challenge me and I will overcome. It's about the time investment. Some people do not have the time to sit there and die 400 times on one boss in Elden Ring. They just don't. They have other commitments in life outside of gaming. And so I think having an easy mode would have been a good idea for something like Elden Ring. However, I'm in the minority on this as well, because even though some people are complaining about the DLC being hard, I complained about the base game being hard. And the truth of the matter is, Elden Ring's not made for a player like me. That's not the kind of game I jive with. Maybe I would like it better if the controls were a little snappier. Some of the difficulty with something like Elden Ring is the sluggish combat, I feel. And that's why I wasn't as high in the game. However, I am fully aware that almost nobody agrees with me on this. And that's okay. I could give my opinion, you all could give your opinion in the comments below. Maybe you love Elden Ring, and that's no problem with me. I don't think that we should be criticizing each other's game choices. You can like Hello Kitty Island or The Sims, and I don't care for those franchises, and that's alright. I want this place to be a community of positivity, and we can discuss back and forth games that we like and don't like and why that is. For me personally, I like to know that even if it's a challenge or not, I like to be able to progress through a story and progress through a game at a pace that is acceptable to me. I've recently beat Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door. It took roughly about 40 hours, and I enjoyed every moment. Did I go through and get every single Shine Sprite and Star Piece? No, I didn't. I did some side quests, but I mostly stuck to the main story, and I did the Pit of 100 Trials, which can be a very difficult run. I did that and enjoyed it. It was very fulfilling and rewarding to complete the challenge, and I enjoyed my time. In that 40 hours, I felt like none of it was wasted, even though there was a lot of dialogue text boxes to shift through. And so, I guess at the end of the day, when I hear a lot of this complaining about Elden Ring's DLC being too hard, all I have to say is, hopefully you can get through it, hopefully you don't regret your purchase, and it's an experience that once you get on the other side, will be a very rewarding thing that you're able to complete the challenge. And with that, guys, I don't think we came to any conclusions about having this conversation piece, other than I like variety, and I think that that is healthy for the gaming community. So with that, this is the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. We try to upload daily here, and once again, I appreciate all your support. Thank you. Have a good one. I'm out.